your matchmaker here at Matchmaker Secrets, where we talk about love, dating, and relationships, and of course, matchmaking. So maybe there has been instances that you've been wondering about money, because like all the time in relationships, that's usually the cause of arguments. And that's the reason why we have invited our guest tonight, who's going to be specializing in that particular topic. And our guest expert is Milorad Markovich, or Milo for short. He is a financial professional who specializes in protecting and growing clients' wealth. Love that. When he is not in the office, you can find him staying active, playing tennis, boxing, catching up on Formula One, or creating a new dish in the kitchen. Hello, Milo. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Good. I'm great. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, great. Like, I like everything you said over here, especially like, new dish in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, I love cooking. I'm a big foodie.
All right, great. And so what do you usually make in your kitchen? Like, do you have a specific cuisine that you're focusing?
Yeah, I love meat, steaks.
Meat, okay.
Yeah, steak.
All right,
I'm really good in making that, yeah.
All right, okay. That's great. So, obviously, like, a lot of people have been wondering now, like, let's get started. So, how did you end up in the financial advising?
Yeah, good question. I met a Serbian guy who owns a large wealth management company in the West Coast, and then he introduced me to a leader in the industry here in Chicago, and that's how I started. And he's now my boss, and I was always a numbers guy, and I love meeting new people, and this is why this is a perfect job for me.
Oh my goodness! All right. So, can you count? Just joking. You said,
Yeah,
like,
1, 2, 3.
You're a numbers guy. All right.
I'm good till 3.
All right, you're good till 3. Okay. So, do you have any advice? Because, like, our audience are mostly singles. And then do you have any advice for those who are trying to build their wealth before they even get into a serious relationship?
Yeah, of course. Yes, you do. Great question. I think that young people first, before they get into a relationship, they need to understand their finances. So first of all, they need to create a balance sheet. So on one side, we have assets. On the other side, we have liabilities. So assets minus liabilities equals net worth. So now when we have everything right there in front of us, it's like creating a whole picture. And then we are able to make a better money decision with that. But my first advice would be to create that so we know where our money is located, and then they can protect themselves. Check their insurance, make sure that they're covered from medical bills, if they got sued, if they get protected from creditors, and as well in the event they're not able to work, in case they become disabled, for example. So after they do all of that, make sure that their balance sheet is in a good order and protected. Because I like to say cash flow is king. So that's why we need to protect our cash flow. After that, they need to become a world-class saver. And after that, I would recommend to create a life events fund for speed bumps in life. In case something happens, they always have money somewhere that they can liquidate and use for good stuff in life or bad in case that happen. And the last one would be to eliminate debt.
Okay, so when you said like world-class
Saver.
what does that mean?
But it's been, our clients mostly save 20% of their income. I'm not saying that everyone will start right there. A lot of them are not saving enough, but I'm not saying that's easy to get there overnight. We need to start working little by little every year, getting more and more in that percentage.
Okay, so do you recommend like writing down every expenses that you are making?
Probably you could do, yeah. It's not just writing, just more saving, putting towards the savings.
Okay, all right. And so do you recommend putting it in a separate account or like, because you said savings. Some people, they see, oh, okay, I have money over here. So, I'm not sure, like, do you want to hide it so that, you
No,
can
yeah,
see
that's
it?
different. Yeah, in between, we call that spend to save.
Okay.
So you're saving on a saving account just quite enough to have some money, and then you go and spend it all. That's not what I'm talking about. I want people to create, let's say, from their paycheck, their money is going to be deducted right away going into the well-building account. And that's how they're going to, it's like a training yourself to become better and better in doing that. I'm not saying someone's going to put right now, if they're making X amount, they're going to be putting 20% right away. No, start small. But make sure that every time if your salary goes up, you're going to increase that savings as well. So we don't want you having salary to go up and savings stays the same. Because we want to always save proportionally.
Okay, like always the 20%.
Yeah, or depends, yeah.
Or more, right?
No, the more the better. Yeah?
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and though, I'm sure like with the cost of rent or like, if you own a house, you pay the mortgage. So do you think like it's still a discipline, right? To make sure that you're covering the 20%.
Yeah, I think, I mean, as I said, they need I know it's American dream to own a house. Sometimes that's not the best for some people to own a house right away in that moment. Because I think it's more about a dream. We need to own a house because then we're going to feel, oh, special, we made it. But I strongly disagree with that because I think if you renting, this is the maximum amount you're going to pay. You're never going to pay over that amount. That's your rent. But if you own a house, that's the minimum amount that you're going to pay. Something can happen. And then you need to have that, as I said, liquid funds for speed bumps in life so we can use for something that we can fix in that moment.
Okay, I got that.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I was saying, most of the people who are listening over here are single. So what kind of questions should one ask about finances to the romantic partner that they want to cohabit with? Like, they want to be living together.
Yeah. I think that's a really good question because if you first, before they get into a relationship, they need to start feeling comfortable talking about the money. We all know money is a taboo subject and no one want to talk about that. And I don't think that's good at all. You need to start talking, feeling comfortable about money, and just talking with people. Because then once you get in a relationship, and if you don't talk with your partner about money, they're just going to cause a lot of stress and anxiety. And then maybe just subject about money is going to come up when they're arguing. Oh, you spend that much. No, I spend this much. But I want people to talk about money and be happy. We want to dream together. How's our rich life look like?
How is our rich
Yeah,
life look
yeah.
like? I like that.
Let's dream about that. Yeah. Not just arguing about money. So that's not a point. We just need to change our mentality, the way how we view it. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have to ask like, specifically, I have no idea. Do you have any recommendation?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was just, of course I do. Yes. The question would be how much they're saving and how they're saving, and as well how much they have in their debt and what's the payment plan for that. Because it's really important if you get in a relationship with someone and they owe a lot of money and you don't know about it, let's say, that can affect your credit, and maybe they want to buy a house together but they didn't make any plans to pay that stuff off. It could cause a lot of problems. So that's why I think it's really important to be straight up and know how much you owe, what's your payment plan, how we're going to fix that, how we're going to improve our credit score so we can go, let's say, and buy a house or just be financially stable.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You mentioned about like, credit score. So just in case that, I heard that, just in case you purchase major something, like maybe a house, your credit score is lowering.
Yep.
So do you have any recommendation? Because like, how does it work that they can recover whatever they have lost, wherein like, they're trying to also be in a relationship. So obviously, like if you are a girlfriend, a boyfriend, like, your credit score is not affecting each other. But once you are already a couple, then
Yeah.
like, your credit score is going to be affected.
Yeah, that's why they need to start working on that right away. As I said, if they have a lot of credit cards, you want to eliminate that. But before that, I said, protect your balance sheet, protect yourself, then start eliminating that. Before you even get into consideration, I'm going to buy a house or I'm going to buy anything else. So you need a plan for it. That's why it's like, it takes time.
Okay.
For that.
Yeah.
But I'm not a specialist in that area. I would really recommend to talk with someone who specializes in credit score, fixing
Okay.
credit scores and
Yeah,
like that.
because
Yeah.
I met one girl and she said that she started asking that before she got married, like, you know, the finances of the guy. And then she actually, you know, physically cut the credit cards of the guy because like he doesn't know how to save. And
How to
so
save,
like, you know, in front of the face of the other person. And then like, I cannot imagine like how it is because like, obviously like, oh my God, my credit cards.
Yeah, but sometimes maybe that's the best thing to do. If you can restrict yourself, I mean, you know, it's better to cut it than to use it. Because the high interest rates and just, it takes so much time for you to pay that off. So that's not a joke, and really people need to take that seriously.
Okay, all right. And I think like because we're talking about finances, I know that, you know, lifestyle is also included. Like, you know, how are they luxurious in their lifestyle? But also I think like we have to find out if they're gambling. Because like,
Gambling, yes, of course.
Gambling.
You don't want someone to gamble, yes, as well. Yeah, you need to look for that as well. That's why I believe communication is the key. You need to communicate. You need to be straight up talking about everything, how you spend money, as well as you said, maybe they're gambling. You need to be straight up and open about that. So then it doesn't create any, you know, the anxiety in the relationship. You want to know what to do next.
Yeah. Okay. So I was just wondering, can newly married couples keep their finances intact so they can be prepared for whatever may happen, like having children, paying for children's education, medical expense, or buying a home?
Yeah, that's a great question, Lori. So life happens unexpectedly, and no one expected something's going to happen in life, and let's say no one thinks going to get sued, but things happen, okay? And no one thinks that they won't be able to work, but they might not be able to work for a couple of years, and they can devastate their balance sheet. So, so they first need, as I said before, to protect their balance sheet and assets, because if you don't protect that, you're going to lose it. Things happen, as I said, and you might lose it. So that's the first thing. And as I love to use an analogy, when you're building a home, you don't invest all your own money in the nicest furniture and beautiful windows until you make sure that you have a solid and strong foundation of the house. So if your foundation is rocky, aka your balance sheet, then everything can fall apart easily. And I know that finances are sometimes difficult to understand, and that's why and people live their busy life. Everyone's busy. I'm busy, you're busy. We kind of always like, oh yeah, I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to think about that the other day. And days pass by, years pass by, and we didn't do anything about that. That's why I always believe that it's a good, if you don't know what you're doing, talk with some financial professional who can help you and make like a financial pad for you, so you can feel financial stability.
Okay. So in your profession, do you have a different way in order to advise those younger as compared to the middle-aged people?
Yeah, everyone is different.
Okay.
Everyone's different, and that's why, as well, you can give anyone advice. You need to sit down with them and understand what they're trying to achieve, what are their goals, and look at the numbers, as I said. First, we need to clear everything, put into, create a balance sheet, as I said, and have everything, numbers right there in front of us so we can understand that person, how they're spending and everything before we can implement and do anything else.
Okay. All right. So obviously, like you have to be sure that they're being honest to you, right? They're not hiding anything like
yes, it's hard. I know that happens as well to me. I mean, it's hard to earn people's trust, and that's okay. That's normal. As I said, again, money. It's no one want to talk about it, and they feel uncomfortable, vulnerable, because they don't want to share that stuff. But it's okay. Everyone spend money. Why not? If you spend it, that's okay. You should spend it. But you need to, as well, you need to know how to manage money. It doesn't mean if someone has more money, they don't know how to manage money. That's not true. If you don't know how to manage 1,000, you're never going to know how to manage 100,000 or even more. So it doesn't even, yeah.
Okay.
So I think that, yeah.
And so based from what you have seen, like, you know, who we're not just generalizing. I just want to make sure, like, you know,
Yeah.
find out, like,
Yeah.
based from what you have seen, you know, from your experience, are the women more money saver than the men, or, you know, I'm not sure, like, how does it work?
That depends, honestly. It really depends. Some guys really are great savers, really. But as well, the girls like to spend a little bit more on shopping and all that stuff, so they can. But they want to hide it. A lot of them don't want to admit it right there. But it takes some time to you to build that trust when they're gonna completely be open, and then you can start working really, like, because then we trust each other. We can fully start working with them and help them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you recommend like having a different savings account for a couple? Because, like, you know, so that they can have something to splurge on themselves if they want. You know, maybe you don't want to be asking, like, okay, can I buy a new golf club? Or, like, you know, the girl will say, like, I don't want to be asking, like, can I buy a new signature bag? Like, you know.
Of course not. I'm not. Of course not. They should have their own accounts. As I said, they should have their own accounts, but maybe they can have one account where they can pay everything out of that account, like a rent and all other stuff. But to create like a system, as I mentioned before, that we have. Once we receive that paycheck, we want money to be automatically deducted and going towards the well-building account or saving account before that money even hit the checking account. So that's you want to, like, it's gone. So you don't realize, oh my God, I just saved. Because checking is called spending account.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
They misspelled it. Okay. Okay. Good to
Good.
know.
Good to know.
Because,
Okay,
like,
great.
seldom do I come to across, like, you know, people who are in your profession in my show. Like, most of the time, like, you know, they're talking about love, dating, and relationship. And then, yeah, one time, like, you know, I really invited the lawyer, who's a divorce lawyer, to find out what is the usual cause of divorce. And she said, like, it's always about the money. And so,
Yeah.
like, you know, and then you're the expert in the money. That's the reason why I want to,
Yeah.
you know, compare your opinion as to
Yeah.
hers, because, like, obviously, like, you know, money is very important. And then, like, you know, this is always the cause of different arguments in any
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, because they're not communicating. I think communication is key there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then she was saying some people who got divorced didn't even know that, you know, their husband owes a lot of money, only, like, you know, during the time that they were supposed to pay a big chunk, you know, of
Yeah,
that.
because
Whatever.
you're attached to that person, and if something, let's say they're not there anymore, I don't know, something happens to them, you're responsible for that. I mean, and if you don't know about such a debt, I mean, they can be tremendous for you. It can ruin your whole life.
Yeah.
You need to know that stuff before you even get into the serious relationship.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, do you still recommend people also getting life insurance? Because, like, you know, just in case somebody passes away.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. They should definitely talk that with as well. That's a part of the process and of the planning process. They should check their all insurances, whatever they have. Even if they have a car insurance, they need to check for liabilities in case that they hit someone. They can be, maybe what happened if that guy can't work for 2 years. Then we look at the human economic value, and what they're going to do, they're going to sue you. Sue the, let's say, car company, insurance company, and let's say you have a liability limit at 25,000, lawsuit is 200. It's going to come out of your paycheck or your assets that you have. And again, that's why it's important people to protect their assets. And as well, check all their insurance to make sure they are covered and they have good coverage. Yeah.
Okay, and how often do you actually ask your clients to get back to you? Because let's say there's a new change in their life, like, you know, aside from getting married, they can have these children now. So, like, you know, how often do you usually ask them, like, okay, get back to me every so often?
Yeah. I talk with my clients in the beginning when they want to meet. If they want to meet once a month, if they want to meet once a year. If they are like more, oh yeah, we can just meet once a year and go over everything again. As I said, balance sheet, all everything that they have and they own, all accounts. We're gonna go over that once a year.
Okay.
But if they want to do more, sure. And I'm always there for them. If they want to give me a call, I'm there to always talk with them.
Okay. And then how about, if they're not good in keeping records, because you kept on mentioning this balance sheet, and so like, I was just wondering if they're not good in collecting those records, what do you do?
We have a like a program that I set up. I set up a portal for my clients, and I have that, and they have that as well, and they even have that on their mobile app.
Oh.
So they can always put their goals if they're trying to achieve something new, maybe, or just put a note, or they want to chat with me, they can do that as well. And everything is online, and we have vault, like a vault where you put all the important documents for them as well. So we don't need to look anywhere else. Everything is right there. We just go on that balance sheet. We click off, find all the folder with all the documents, whatever we need is right there. And if they need to upload, they can do that through that mobile app as well.
Okay. And so, do you have any recommendations? Let's say they have a loss. Like, let's say there are people who are investing in cryptocurrency, and so they lost something. So do you have any additional suggestion for them in order to keep up with whatever they lost?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not into. I know about crypto, but I'm not into that, and I'm not allowed to give advice towards the crypto because it's unstable. It's okay to people to play with that, but you should play with money that you have, and I don't think that. But again, I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Okay, I got it.
Crypto,
Okay,
yeah,
all right, yeah.
crypto,
Yeah, it's just like, it just came to be because like obviously like people who has a lot of wealth, they always thinking like, okay, how can I actually generate more wealth? And so like, they go to stocks and then they go to cryptocurrency or whatever other, maybe silver. So yeah, like, it's just like something that...
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff as well. As I said, it's a special situation for every person. It's never the same.
Okay.
So that depends on you, who you are, again, what you're trying to achieve, how everything else look. As I said, your balance sheet, your cash flow, how's all of that looking before you get even into investments.
Okay.
So you make sure, as I said, again, that house. So we want to make sure the first foundation is good, in good order and steady before we even get investing into the windows and furniture.
Okay, all right. So maybe you can tell us, like, just for the sake of those people, not everybody has accounting background, maybe you can tell us what is a balance sheet, because like you mentioned it like 3 or 4 times, we'll never know, we just want to cover everybody. What's a balance sheet?
Of course, as I said, balance sheet, it's on the left side, we have your assets, on the right side, we have your liabilities. So assets are cash accounts, investment account, retirement accounts, real estate. On the right side would be as liabilities, taxes, if we have some stuff payable, mortgages, debt. So when we deduct so assets minus liabilities, we're gonna get a net worth. That means how much we are worth right now. Okay. So yeah. That's basically the balance sheet.
Okay, all right, yeah, because like, it seems like, with the current times, like people are using their credit card all the time, so maybe the net worth is smaller already.
Oh yeah, maybe sometimes net worth is even negative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because like, those people like, they call themselves millionaires or billionaires, and then like, they have negative
when you
net
put,
worth.
that's why it's important to put everything on the paper. Create a balance sheet for you, and then you know where you're at. Okay, in my mind, okay, what I need to do to balance that out. Yeah. What I need to change, maybe, there's so many stuff you can change that, work on that, but now exactly because you have that picture in front of you. And it's way easier to do something when you have in front of you, because people are visual, and you want to see that. Okay, now I see. I'm right here. How I'm going to fix that? And it's going to be way easier for you to make a better money decision if you have that. And then just thinking in your head, oh yeah, I have that much. I mean, you're not a computer, so you can calculate all that.
Yeah, and then like, some minor details maybe you have forgotten. And then like, sometimes like they only see it during tax season because that's
Yeah.
the time that really like you're
Yeah.
forced to do something about your
you're forced to
numbers.
yeah. No one likes it. That's reality. No one likes it, and I mean I know that. I mean, no one likes it. But I think it's really important, and people need to focus on that because, like, that's the number one stuff that keep you. I mean, that's really important for you. I mean, you can be here without money.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just dawned on me, like we're talking about money, like even going to the dentist to have some dental work, they're expensive.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
it's
they
like,
are, they
buying
are.
a car.
Oh yeah, they are really expensive here. Yep, that's true.
Okay, so I'd like to thank you again, Mila,
course.
for being over here. And then for the benefit of those people who are watching, we're always looking for experts on love, dating, and relationships. And if you are single who's wondering how to navigate love, we want to also have you over here. And again, thank you. And then we'll see you
Welcome.
again next time. Bye-bye.